AI's impact is growing. It's no more just a buzzword. So I thought, why not create a video where we can talk about the overall landscape, where the most amount of value is being created, who are the different players involved, and where are we probably headed in few years' time from now. Let's learn all of this in today's video. But before we look at the market structure, the most important question is why? Why should we learn about how this market is structured? I think by learning that, we also understand where the investments are happening, where the biggest disruption is going to happen, and it can shape our several decisions related to investments, career decisions, and so forth. You can essentially consider the entire landscape to look like a multi-layered cake. So let's begin at the level 1. At level 1 are some of the chips and graphic design companies. We've all heard of NVIDIA. NVIDIA has become the darling of the stock market in last few years just because of the AI, generative AI boom, and their chips, specialized chips which are needed for generative AI and special computes. In this category, there are several other players which are catching up. So AMD, Intel, and Google making some of its own investments. And then we also know Apple is also making some of their own investments. They're all players in this segment. So the lowest level, or the layer 1, is companies working on physical hardware chips which are going to facilitate a boom in generative AI or AI space. And layer 2 is companies which are sitting on top of these hardware chips. Basically, these are the companies which are making the compute available to all of us. These companies are also playing a role of managed LLM providers. Google and their massive investments in their neural network space for several years now. I'm pretty sure you've heard of AWS and its Bedrock platform. All of these companies, on one hand, they are a cloud services provider, which are making all the infrastructure available to us. On the second hand, they are all managed LLM providers as well. The third layer of this cake is proprietary or open source large language model providers. This is where in last few years, OpenAI has come and become the north star of this space. On the other side, Facebook has taken a very different stance, has gone the open source route of building these proprietary models. They started from GPT-3, 3.5, and now we're talking about GPT-4. So they keep advancing their cause. So that's the third layer of proprietary and open source large language models. The fourth layer is the layer where the framework builders are sitting. So the AI framework developers, they are making available those APIs, those libraries that actually help make the AI development possible. We've heard about TensorFlow from Google. One of those examples which is sitting at this level. So the next layer is actually platform companies. On one category are the companies which are data platform companies like Snowflake and Databricks. On the other side, there are companies which are like Splunk, which are basically focused on security events. Both of these category of companies are harnessing the power of AI into their platform because they operate at a very large scale. And the whole idea is to get the power of AI, the speed of AI computation applied at a platform level to give very quick results and provide those solutions. Next are the companies where you see consultants like the Big Four, the Deloittes of the world, EY, some of the leading consulting companies. Which these companies, their number one thing is to help customers think of how to apply AI in their business, how to reap benefits of the emerging technology. And then the second category are the service providers. This is where all of your Infosys and Cognizant and mid to small level companies exist, which are actually building those applications and making available to customers. They're also training employees and customers on AI and emerging technologies. At the top level are the companies, I would call this as the application layer companies. Some of the companies are focusing particularly on an industry and a domain and a use case. Some of them are focused on several industries and domains and use cases. So these are the companies which are building applications. It could be a SaaS application, it could be a small use case what they are implementing. It could be also a part of services companies which are hoping to build a value POC and convert this into a longer term implementation project on machine learning and AI. At the same level are ML ops platform companies. So deploying AI models is definitely a challenge. But even bigger challenge is how do you monitor them? ML ops platform companies are helping these companies to deploy their AI models, to monitor their AI models, and help with that operations part of the AI models. ML Flow is a good example of companies operating at this level. Yeah, on the left of my slide, you can see the data layer companies. So data, as you know, is the lifeblood, and there is so much talk about synthetic data and authentic data, for training of some of these models. So these are the companies, these are those players in the market which are specialists in data preparation. How do you label the data correctly? How do you sandbox the data properly, and the quality of data? So basically, who are working on the data aspect of this entire industry of AI and machine learning. There are again a few companies. I'm not very close to this area in itself, but I've read about Labelbox as one of the companies which operates in this space. And lastly, there are two more boxes as you see on the screen now. One of them is AI research companies. These companies contribute to the long-term view of where AI and generative AI to general AI are going to be heading. OpenAI is one of those companies. Google is another very big player in this space. So these are the guys who are continuously investing research dollars, and they're continuing to do research in this particular area. And then the second piece is the AI regulatory and ethics players. Basically, as we are already seeing with the advancement of responsible AI, it's extremely crucial for companies to monitor their model, to make sure their models are transparent, there is traceability of how a decision is being made. And as we adapt and adopt a lot more AI in a day-to-day basis in our companies, in our decision making, the ethics and regulatory platforms are going to play a very big role in making that happen. Companies like Fiddler AI and Y Labs, these are some of the specialist companies operating in this particular space, helping companies monitor their AI models, go the entire 360 degree of fairness, keeping up checks and balance on whether there are any biases in this model, how it is getting to a particular outcome, is there a traceability of responses what the AI model is providing. All right, so that's a breakdown of the entire industry from my perspective. Again, there are changes happening regularly. I might create another video later down the road. I think it captures the entire landscape quite well. Now let's get to the most important question. Where is the most amount of value being created in this landscape as of today? So from my perspective, and I think the writing is clearly on the wall, there are three areas. Number one is the managed LLM layer. This is where the OpenAI has actually taken a pole position already. The second big area where highest amount of value is being created is the platform level, because again, these guys are trying to create significant value for the users by making a big bet themselves. So companies like Snowflake, companies like Databricks, companies like Splunk, basically at that level, they are driving immense value, and they are one of those initial carriers of value directly into the enterprise. The third is the application layer. Again, I think we will see an explosion at this layer very soon. All right, so the last point, I want to kind of do a little bit of projection at the end of this video. Where is the highest amount of value going to be created in, say, 5 to 10 years from now? Again, I can't see the future, but here is my perspective on it. Number one, I think the application layer is going to go and expand probably 100 times from where we are today. As more and more infrastructure and large language model, all those are democratized, you will see an immense amount of applications and use cases being created at an application layer. These use cases, like we've seen in the case of data lakes, they will start going more and more specific to industry, and even within that, they'll become a lot more use case specific. The second piece, I think, is going to be around the regulatory and the ethics piece of AI. How companies apply AI and what is the framework on governance of that AI. That is going to be extremely crucial. We have seen a similar type of progression in the data lake and the data space, where while data is important, the governance over data is even more important. So I feel AI model monitoring and governance is going to be another key area. And the third area is going to be around cybersecurity. I think as AI grows and grows exponentially from here, the risks of cybersecurity are very clear and very evident to all of us. So, as it's going to be very useful in the hands of the right people, it's also going to be extremely dangerous in the hands of the wrong people. So we will see amount of risks and opportunities in cybersecurity related to AI grow exponentially as well. Well, that's about it for now. If you found this useful, give me a like and subscribe to this channel. I regularly talk about emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence and generative AI on this channel. Thank you so much.